Hello, it's Anne here and welcome to my new podcast called In Hindsight. Some of you might know I've been channeling a podcast on well-being for the last year, but time for change, guys, always. It's all too easy to say after the event, isn't it? But would you have done things differently in hindsight? And I thought for some fun to consider, even analyse a little bit some of life events, past things that have happened, even last week, if you like. And in reflection, would you have done things differently? Or would I have done things differently? And who knows, learn a little bit about ourselves along the way. Stay with me. This episode, however, will be more of an insight than a hindsight to what's currently going on in our lives. So, this is episode 1. Well, a bit like Madonna, that's me, yeah. Reinventing myself, whether it be in small ways, who knows. I'm not going to go blonde or maybe shave my head. Could shave my head, actually. I did consider that because I don't know about you guys, and it's not just because I couldn't get to a hairdresser. Not really sure, but maybe it was little bouts of anxiety. I'm not sure because I don't really suffer from that a lot. But I could just imagine taking that razor right across my scalp and shaving all my hair off. What's that all about? Britney Spears did that, didn't she? Has anybody else felt like that? Let me know if you have. How odd. Okay, moving on. This episode, let's reflect on our release from lockdown. I will be having someone else on to join me, which will help. But in the interim, it's only me. But it's you too, yeah. So drop me a line, like I say, anything about anything, big or small, anything at all. For those that did follow the rules in the first place, we will now all be invited to garden parties and anniversaries and all that jazz. And I hear there's women across the country are all preparing their re-entry outfits for those special occasions to make a fantabulous entry into the party. You know, bit ominous. I mean, that's what they're calling it now, the re-entry outfit. Do you like my re-entry outfit? Re-entry. Are you at the right party? God, who makes these things up? The Daily Mail, that's who. I mean, I don't know about you, but obviously we know we've had the whole of last year and we're into this year and the same thing's happening. It is a pandemic. We do have a virus, regardless of whether you believe it or not. We're going to have to take this vaccine. And even if you survived it, got it and survived it, the vaccine really is to prevent, is really to help others. We'll stand together. Who's that sung that? I don't know, was it Paul McCartney? Paul McCartney and Wings, that's what it was. Anyway. Of course, people around about my age will know who that is, but maybe some of you won't. Anyway. Okay, the vaccine. Yes, it's the culture of vaccine now. Yeah, many of us will be heading for our second vaccine shot, yeah, where our immune system will be kicking ass, man. Like I say, drop me a line. How do you feel about the vaccine? Has anyone actually had the AstraZeneca as well already, even if it's just one dose? And how do you feel about getting released from lockdown? You know, it's all about keeping control of yourself. Take it easy. Take it nice and easy. Nice and easy. So no more fear, you know. We used to be confined and afraid, but now we're getting stronger and waiting for the second dose. Dose. I'm not sure I like that word, dose. Well, shot, jab, whatever it's called. But we're on the move. And that's the way to think about it, because there is a whole lot of mindset going on here. A whole lot of mindset. Yep, if you don't mind, it doesn't matter. There's a lot to be said for that. Don't underestimate it. I guess it's all about adjusting slowly but surely, you know. And that's where we have come to where we are, really. God, I couldn't think there. The worry is, you know, is it safe? And obviously there's a bit of controversy about the AstraZeneca. But overall, I think the advantages far outweigh the risks otherwise. So I'm on it. I'm going to keep on taking it, guys. Anyway, that's worth saying. Of course, there have been some advantages, like the lighter pollution that we've had. It's so much less and it's so much better. We can see into the universe and beyond in these areas now. We can see all these stars, you know. Stunning sights of the night sky. I mean, you can actually, if you have a telescope or a camera, you can see Orion's belt. Digress there, sorry about that, but I had to say it, Orion's belt. Well, the constellation, I've never seen it. I've lived 60 years and I have never seen it. Someone buy me a telescope, please. I want to see it. We've lived for about 3.5 billion years. Obviously, I looked that up. And look at us now. What was it Ricky Gervais said? We're chimps with a brain the size of a planet. What do you do with it? I have no idea. Maybe we don't all have a brain the size of a planet. Well, you never know. But you know what they say. It's not so much the size, it's how you put it to use. And by that, I do our brain I'm talking about, Going back to the re-entry joke there. My jokes. I think I've been conditioned by Carry On movies. Either that, I've been single too long. One of the two, darling. One of the two. God, I do digress. This should actually be called The Digress Show. But listen, stop worrying so much. No, I know it's not simple, but seriously, we worry too much, don't we? I mean, it's difficult sometimes, of course, but really try and find a lighter thought in your head. If you have fun and don't hurt anyone, it's okay, It's, all this worrying, just bugger it. Bugger it. Life is too short. Because truly, you don't really live that long, do you? Not to put an edge on it, not to put too much of a negative on it. You can look at that as a positive, actually. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. You do it. In fact, sadly, just as I was recording this today, being the 9th, Prince Philip has died. It's just announced on the news. 99, that's a good age, but there goes a very charismatic and very humorous man. In fact, he is deserved of every accolade everybody's putting out there at the moment. Whether you are a royalist or not, this is how I feel. I really think that he was an amazing man. When you hear the history of him and what he does, or rather what he has done. He's completely selfless, never really spoke about himself, just got on with it. And amongst the many things that he's done, the Duke of Edinburgh Awards to allow young people who maybe don't have a great start in life to prove to them that you can do things, that you have the abilities, is amazing. And this element of compassion Prince Philip had to give kids confidence and belief in themselves, their own potentials to aspire and achieve, to get challenged. I mean, he was passionate about that. And trying to create an image is something that he was talking about. I think he was referring to the media, actually. Why wouldn't you? But he says, don't try to deliberately create an image. You create an image out of what you're doing. So what you're doing, if you're doing it with belief and passion, that will be enough. In other words, you can't create any kind of image if you don't wholly believe in what you're doing. That you have the potential. And even in his death, I am sure he is going to be a continual inspiration to everyone. And he was known for creating great fun out of small incidents. Now, come on, that's what we want to be doing. That's inspiring. Okay, so, well, that's all I'll say on that. I did digress quite a bit there, but I really do think it is a great loss. So rest in peace, Prince Philip. The way I see him, he's obviously had been a bit of controversy of little things he might have said that might not be kosher in terms of descriptions of people and what have you, but it's from an era as well that was the sense of humour. It's survival, isn't it? Survival, making fun of things. And if something exists in your thoughts, you've got to show it, for God's sake, haven't you? Sorry if anybody is offended, but I must admit, the woke society, as I've always said before, of course I respect them. I respect anyone who's trying to bring awareness about or around inequality. But I don't know how anybody else feels out there, but I just feel it's almost like, they are assuming that my generation had no idea about inequality and how to have the correct ethos and values towards life and people who live in it. But I mean, for God's sake, darlings, we all do. And I suppose it's really just trying to find that medium where we can just appreciate one another and our opinions regardless. Oh my God, that's not even funny. Yeah, so be the first person. What do you think, the woke society? Give me your thoughts on this. All of your thoughts, it doesn't matter what. And remember, all with respect, darlings, all with respect. And with respect, would you say it's being somewhat pretentious about how much they actually care about society? Like previously we didn't, our previous generation just didn't, telling us to sign petitions which will really, really change the world. Because those woke women out there, in all due respect, of course, are they saying that if you're not woke, you're a past tense, so to speak? Dozy? How very dare you? I'm not. We're not. Oh, I'm creating an argument here. Yeah, but there is another side. These people do help to arouse, maybe that's not the great word, here I go again, donate, shall we say, donate an attentiveness to important issues, so to speak. And even more recently, I mean, everyone's heard of Lawrence Fox. Is he an actor or was an actor? I don't know. Getting into the political agenda himself, he's actually begun using this in a kind of different way. And I was just reading recently that it could be said that we're using it more like a stick with which to beat the living daylights out of those people who are not woke. Well, I'm not having that. But is that true? Someone's opinion, of course. What is yours? Yeah, more opinion. Okay, did I say this episode was about lockdown, coming out of lockdown? Obviously not. Well, I did say it was about anything and everything. Everything and anything, but not all in the one go, but there you go. I'll calm down, get episodes correct. But can I just say, because I'm on a roll, if there's going to be a little bit of a disadvantage of the woke societies, it might just be a little bit of scaremongering every now and then. Naturally, that might be controversial. Well, it is controversial because we all have our own opinions, but, it's a leveler, isn't it? We have to level out what we feel and think are ourselves, Seek yourself to life, guys. That's all I'm saying. Seek yourself to life. Don't really know what that means. Okay, I did digress. This should be called digression. Anyway, back to continuing on our path out of lockdown. How do we really feel about that and where are we going? Where are we going? It's all up and down, really, isn't it? I mean, I'm not one to really take medicines or sort of go to the doctor regularly or anything like that. So you kind of like, I don't want to take a vaccine. Why would I have to do that? I don't even take the flu jab, and I'm 60. But, it's herd immunity, isn't it? All that. I just feel like a cow when I say that. Obviously, we are like animals getting rounded up. Get rounded up for the vaccine, darling. That's what we're going to do. Ooh. I mean, vaccines, like all medicines, no vaccine is completely effective, is it? That's what they're saying. Well, it's not, is it? Same with the flu jab. So we should continue to take precautions, masking up, keeping our distance. It will be like that for a long time. And I think if we just learn to just bloody accept it, then nothing's going to come as too much of a surprise and we'll just evolve with it until it, really goes away. I don't know when that's going to go away. Oops. That was my chair, by the way, not me making that noise. Believe it or not. But anyway, the virus should be less severe. Yeah, it should be less severe. And just what I've read, in and out of it, because there's only so much you can take, guys, isn't it? Because it would drive you crazy. But that Chris Whitty, he said there'll definitely be, because of Europe, there's other spikes in various places in Europe, isn't there? So there'll definitely be another surge at some point. Whether it's before winter or even next winter, I think he said. We don't know. But don't panic, Mr. Mannering. All's well. Well, it's better than last year. Come on. What were we thinking last year compared to now? So we've moved on somewhere. Confusing, but just how much do we expect, or how quick do we expect things to happen? Like I say, accept it. Accept what it bloody is. It's a virus that could kill you. So, we're taking it easy. We're taking it easy for obvious reasons. A virus that can kill you, but don't panic. Paradoxically speaking. And seriously, you shouldn't panic because, there's so many people saying so many different things, but you don't want to be under any false illusion. Otherwise, it's just a case of, well, you said we were going to get out and now we can't get out. Who are these people? Well, go out, flip and mingle to your heart's content, but just bloody well stay away from me. That's what I feel sometimes. But, okay, let's face it. Okay, we don't know how it really happened. There are speculative reasons, isn't there? Someone somewhere will know. But these effects, if we're not careful, could be lifelong. And that's what I've heard. So now that I'm putting out this podcast to have a little bit of fun and feel good, I'm now telling you, you got to be careful. This could be lifelong. This could be dangerous. because you're not going to stop doing what you're doing in your life. Well, we are restricted. Some of us are still not working. I'm not working, but you can just take each day as it comes. That's what you do, isn't it? That's what you do. That's what we do as humans, bottom line. The alternative? Let's do melodramatic, why don't we? Right. There is going to be a long shadow of COVID, for fuck's sake. Sorry, folks, but that's what I've learnt. France and Germany, they're going to get a lot stricter. But my God, talk about late. I mean, we're criticising our own country, but we've done not too badly. Ultimately, okay, you should have went into lockdown earlier, but would that have really helped? I mean, that's speculative as well. I mean, we can only assume that. That's why I'm not travelling this year. I'm not going to another country because of the other variants and bringing it in. One more year, Stay in your own staycation time. Let's find somewhere to enjoy ourselves in this country. And, you'll be able to do that if you just keep a little bit sound of mind. That's what we've got to do about most things, haven't we? Sorry, am I getting angry? No, it's just passion. Passionate, darling. But staycations as well, that'll bring some money into Britain. God knows we'll need to do that soon. The state of the economy, that's another subject. Let's not bring ourselves down too much. I'm talking to myself, actually. I mean, logically, it's more than likely after we come out of lockdown that there will be a little bit of rise in cases, won't there? But because we've got the vaccine rolling out, that means they may not get another lockdown, but also people will be less susceptible to severe disease. So that's all good. So as much as we can say, well, it's not going to go away for a long time, it's always going to be there, and we're still going to be a little bit vigilant, it's so much better because we're moving forward. If we do catch anything, then the severity of it is reduced. And that's really important to know. I think that's good news, and largely the concerns are around the new variants, which vaccines may not be as effective against. But I think we've built up a little bit of herd immunity or individual immunity. So perhaps those variants will not, I'm saying perhaps, I don't really know. But, we've got to look at these things in a positive manner and a logical manner. That's my opinion. So what's yours? Let me know. I'm also talking to myself and hoping that you are listening. But obviously, I'm quite happy with my opinion. Nobody is here to tell me differently. It's so good. So I'll end this mixture of information on a note that at this point, Britain has got its act together. So let's just live with that thought at the moment as we slowly release ourselves, preparing our re-entry outfits, darling. Yes, let's call it that and have some fun. Yeah, re-entry with a little passport or a little booklet that says, I've had the double dose of vaccine. I'm safe at a distance, from a distance. Yeah, so all dressed up, little handbag, little vaccine passes. I'm trying to think, Well, not the men, of course, with their little handbags. Well, you can if you want. Would your passport have a little vaccine certificate in it? Or would you carry a little vaccine certificate with your passport? I mean, then you wouldn't need your passport. But anyway, the rules of the GGs, the garden gatherings, that's what it is. All dressed up, hoping to be invited to a nice little garden party. Just even an anniversary with just a few people, to make your grand entrance among the daffodils and the freshly cut grass. Like I say, in the GG, garden gatherings. Just call it GG. How many can you have in the garden gatherings, though? Not sure, really. 6. Is it 6 or is it more now? It gets confusing. If it is 6, there won't be many there to see your re-entry outfit, darling. Oh, and don't forget to take your roadmap for lifting lockdown. All about lifting of lockdown. So we're talking passport, vaccine pass and roadmap for a garden party of 6. That'll be the rules of the GGs, the garden gathering rules. Hang on a minute, too many folks here. No, it's okay, cries the host. Passports have been checked. Everyone has a double shot. And those who have had a double shot, get a tequila shot. That sounds good. Tequila shot, shot for a shot. Well, I should change the whole culture of garden parties and barbecues, isn't it, you know? No more of, fancy coming to the loo with me? No way, mate. Can't get in the house together, no way. So you'll have the host standing next to his babby. Lovely to see everybody. It's been such a long time. Now, may I just answer a few frequently asked questions? We ask you to try to refrain from entering the house two by two, animals two by two, or you could have a criminal charges against you, especially if my neighbour sees you because she ain't invited. Oh dear. Yes, she already reported us earlier in the year when she thought, or she mistook the plumber for my wife having an affair with someone. That caused a few arguments, but anyway, just be careful with little Linda next door, that's all I'm saying. Oh my God. All for a party of 6 people in the garden. This is getting very taxing. Well, do we really need a re-entry outfit for a party of 6? You know, who's going to be there, darling? Oh well, that was just a little scenario I created there. I'm sure it could be different for you. Probably be different for me. Let's hope so. Anyway, please drop me a line. I'd love to hear your views, and join me next time. And subscribe. Subscribe. Everybody's saying that word these days. I'm going to look for another word. But anyway, thank you. If you've listened, thank you. If not, well, what's the point? Oh, and just to say, that was just a little insight. Next episode, it's In Hindsight. Should be really funny. Thanks for joining me. Bye.